Welcome back to Montessori Moments and our last session on the brain. In this session, we will discuss the part of the brain you may hear about the most, the frontal lobe. The reason for this being, we think of sight, motor skills, and language as things that develop naturally without a lot of extra thought put into it. Social emotional skills, however, must be taught very deliberately. The frontal lobe contains several areas within it, and we've discussed the primary motor cortex, the premotor cortex, the frontal eye field, and the Broca's area within the frontal lobe. This leaves us with the prefrontal cortex. Oh, that prefrontal cortex. The frustration of many parents. Because unlike the other parts of the brain, this part doesn't develop rapidly in a child. In fact, the prefrontal cortex is not fully developed until the age of 21 or later. Ever wonder why 21 is the legal drinking age? This area of the brain is higher mental function. It controls concentration, planning, judgment, emotional expression, and inhibition. All things you would like to be fully in place before allowing anyone to mess with judgment by drinking alcohol. When things are running smoothly in the prefrontal cortex, we see children begin to build concentration skills between the ages of 3 and 4. Things like practical life and sensorial areas in Montessori classrooms really help to build these skills of focus and concentration. By the age of 5, children should have mastered sounds and be close to reading. And this varies in every child, of course, as children develop at different rates. Also, by the age of 5, a child should be able to name their emotions and a solution. Their need for control over their emotions is socially driven because they begin to strive for social acceptance. Reactions are not as quick to flare up, and when things don't go their way, and inhibition and judgment, this inhibition to just have an outburst, the judgment kicks in and it begins working more effectively within a 5 to 6 year old. So children obviously have emotions long before they have speech. This is where those toddler tantrums tend to come in. And modeling self-control is one way we can work on this. But we must also deliberately name emotions and how to deal with them. An example might be, I see that you really wanted that toy and you're sad that we're not getting it. Naming the feeling acknowledges the child's right to have that feeling. Sometimes being understood in a hug is all it takes. No feeling is ever bad. It's how we handle those feelings that matters. When the prefrontal cortex is not developing at the targeted rate and you're still seeing explosive behavior, lack of concentration, and poor judgment and planning, these could be some signs of a possibility of ADHD. This neurodevelopmental disorder is when the prefrontal cortex does not develop on schedule. And genetics is the main cause of ADHD, although outside factors can be contributors to this in a small percentage of cases. But these symptoms include inability to focus for sustained periods of time that are developmentally appropriate for their age, frequently losing things, very quick reactions to things that upset them, and giving in to temptations when a child is over the age of 3. Also, a lot of fidgeting, a lot of daydreaming. All children need help in developing the higher mental functions of the prefrontal cortex. So naming emotions in yourself and your child is very important. Acknowledgement that all feelings are okay. It is what we do with them that matters. This is really the key. When you get angry and you yell, apologize and speak about why you were angry and how you could have handled it better. This is setting a great example. If we want children to respect us, we must respect them. And a part of that is apologizing. I'm sorry I yelled at you. I was busy with work and I felt frustrated that you kept interrupting me. I shouldn't have yelled. I see that you are hungry. Please draw on this paper for a few minutes and then I will get you lunch. Time and consistency are the best things to help your child gain control of their feelings and actions while the brain is developing. It is up to us as adults to set the tone for how children will turn out. So this concludes our brain study, the parts of the brain, and kind of a little bit of the overview of what they control and how we can work with children on that brain development. I hope you will join us next time. We'll be starting a new series of videos very soon.